It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello and welcome. Glad you could join us here on 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. Next to me, Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We'll watch the Phoenix Suns in this one as they go up against the San Antonio Spurs at AT&TCenter. Checking out the Spurs, this is their first time playing this squad so far this season. Last year, they had a winning record against them, going 2-1. And guys, you think about it, in a lot of ways, the San Antonio Spurs are the league's model franchise. Despite the small market, relative lack of media attention, all they do, Shaq, is
win, 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 no matter what. You look at the coaches and executives that got hired away from San Antonio area. The Spurs organization is like a tree whose branches are spreading throughout the league, and the chlorophyll is just igniting all the other teams and all the other GMs to just flow.
That's a magical analogy.
Like flowers.
It's magical the way you described that.
Thank you.
I'm not feeling that. That's a copycat league. They got to stop doing that. There's other people that could do a good job other than Spurs. I'm not saying the Spurs don't do it.
So you don't like the Spurs?
No, I don't like them being copycat and everyone's to be exactly like them.
We're blossoming.
You know, they win 50-plus games every year, but you don't have to copycat.
Really, it's like this.
Ernie, you see this cup?
Yes.
Watch when I pour water in here what happens. You see how the plant just blossoms and it's keep growing?
It's like Shaq and the Beanstalk.
Shaq and the Beanstalk. And stop. I want it to stop right there. See that? I'll just move it right over here. See that little flower? That's what the Spurs are.
It provides a nice touch for the set.
Yes,
thank you. It really
Appreciate
does.
it.
There's other teams that do
Kenny doesn't want to play this game. Kenny is not impressed.
You're not impressed by the chlorophyll?
I'm impressed by the magic show you just put on, but I'm not impressed by everybody has to get a Spur guy.
There are only so many to go around.
I'll tell you.
Kevin Harlan, you got the call.
The Suns are looking to defeat their Western Conference rival going into this game. With Brett Barry and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan, and David Aldridge will be joining us on the sideline as well. And it's been home cooking for the Spurs in the midst of a homestand here in San Antonio. And, of course, Eric Bledsoe. Let's see how they continue to fare without him.
And to say the deal changes the look and the feel of this franchise, quite frankly, is stating the obvious. They are a vastly different team than they were just a few days ago. Obviously looking long-term rather than short.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. Setting the floor for the Suns. Booker the 2 and Jackson the 3, the up-and-coming wing pair. Chandler out there with T.J. Warren, and it's Ulis in at the point.
I mean, is it fair that Pau Gasol can stand on one block and rebound on the other? That's some length.
And Pau Gasol, one of the most skilled 7-footers this league has ever seen. Whether it's the low post, high post, flaring off picks, you want the ball in his hands.
And Gasol sends it back. In transition, here comes San Antonio. Outside, Green. Aldridge kicks to Leonard. Back to Aldridge. He goes up again. Gasol no good. So it's Phoenix now. A tough loss coming against New York in their last game played.
Just didn't like the energy level in that one, and that offensive execution also was lacking.
Well, they made a few shots, Reg, but just wildly inconsistent.
Now here's Parker after T.J. Warren's miss. With the shot. Rebounded by Jackson. And Pau Gasol, a very good perimeter shooter, starting to stretch his range out beyond that three-point arc.
Yeah, his face-up game is becoming more and more prominent. Working from that elbow, he's become more of a triple threat. He can shoot it, drive it, and pass at a high level.
Here's Green. Devin Booker picking up that last basket. Out to Parker. Aldridge a screen. 5 to shoot. He took good advantage of that screen. Parker's got his first bucket in this one.
And the screen and roll, an excellent choice there. Parker only needs a small amount of room to get his shot off.
Warren kicks to Chandler. Back to Warren. The offensive rebound, and Jackson throws it down hard.
And he's really great at keeping after misses, using those long arms and quick instincts to snag rebounds.
And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. Gasol screen, Leonard attacking, and Jackson with the block. Got a piece of it. Booker, and the rejection by Leonard.
And that's the thing we know about Leonard. As a defender, on the ball, off the ball, he's rarely out of any play.
And Tony Parker again. Parker's got his second basket.
Wow, I'm surprised he took that shot, but he has a huge size disadvantage in that matchup. But tremendous job to knock that one down.
Yeah, his shot just doesn't seem to be synced up right now. Here's hoping he finds it soon, because his team is really going to need that production tonight.
The Suns trailing. Booker the pass to Chandler. Outside Jackson. Back to Chandler. Passes it to Ulis. Just 5 to shoot. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. They get Pau Gasol. The Suns shooting their first free throws of the game right now. The first one falls. It's early, of course, but Brent, for teams that have a number of new players, maybe even a new coach, what's an average timeline for developing a winning chemistry?
I think if you look at, Kevin, the way we've talked for so many years about 20 games into the season, with this much change, you might have to look at half of a season, because there could be some injuries, there could be some scheduling snafus that make it difficult for you. But half of a year, new coach, new players, 41 games seems to be about right in assessing whether or not this team's going to put something special together for the season.
Now here's Gasol. Here's Aldridge. Tyson Chandler pulls it in.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
Now the feed to Warren. On the wing, Booker for the 3. And the Suns miss again.
Just doesn't seem to be shooting it with confidence, and the shots are going all over the place in this period.
Leonard, no luck.
Credit the defense, wisely avoiding fouling the shooter. Don't want to give up a personal there. And he made him attempt a difficult layup.
Now, here's Ulis. Booker outside. Some nice ball movement here by the Suns. And the shot by Warren, no good.
And a really smart defender there. He just reads the play, wastes no time trying to blow it up.
And what I like best is that he does it completely under control. Really gives the shooter nowhere to turn to. This is where you got to put a body on the guy. His will is incredible down on the interior, fighting and clawing for every rebound.
Chandler is screened. Pass to Warren. Trying to find Chandler. He's got it now. And it's sent back by Aldridge.
Maybe he's not the most aggressive defender or the most physical, but Aldridge does have mobility. That time he sends it back.
And that's really a function of the offense not working as it should.
Yeah, maybe lazy play calling or just going through the motions on that possession. This often leads to a bad shot.
Hey, Greg, when you watch Josh Jackson play, it's easy to see that he can eventually be one of the best defenders in the league if he works at it.
The blocks and steals, I think, will always be there for Jackson with that length. As he progresses as a player, though, he should improve in the little things. It reminds you a bit of a young Andre Iguodala at times with how explosive he can be athletically.
And the free throw is good, now leading by 1.
And one of the things that stands out about Josh Jackson out of Kansas, his playmaking ability at that forward position. For a guy 6'8", you can put the ball in his hands and let him create offense for you, much like a Draymond Green.
Now here's Gay. Last game he had 12. Chandler with the steal. And now the Suns, a fast break. Here's Booker, and he lays it straight in.
With that now, only 2 of 7 to start the game. Not the start he was hoping for.
And Josh Jackson, Greg, out of Kansas, able to step into that point forward role well.
And in today's game, you can't have too many playmakers on the court at one time. Josh Jackson is Draymond Green 2.0. You know, a little bit better athlete, can be a difference maker defensively, but also has that high IQ on the offensive side to make everybody better.
They get the rebound.
I give the defense a C+ on that possession, but still, I'm sure he's upset he missed.
Parker dishes to Gay, and Leonard has it in the corner. Good, and Aldridge gets the assist. Leonard's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Here's Ulis. They set the pick. Outside for Jackson. Cans the shot from the wing. Jackson's got 7 points.
And how about the attack mode mentality that Jackson possesses? You can see there, even on the mid-range, he is looking to be aggressive.
Gay misses. Phoenix has gone 0 of 2 from deep here. And Booker kicks to Warren. Over Gay. Tried to bank it in, but he misses.
Yeah, a bit frigid to begin this one. Just can't make anything to get the game started.
And good that time. Leonard's got it all tied up now for San Antonio. And first time out of the game called for Phoenix. The Spurs offense, one of the most efficient in the NBA. It's all predicated, Greg, on motion.
And it's ball movement and player movement. They kind of want to warp the defense and force mistakes, and that's when they strike.
So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Laverne, he's checked in for Aldridge. Anderson comes in for Leonard. Ano Ginobili's checked in for Danny Green. And it's Mills in for Parker. Now let's send it down to David Aldridge, who was able to talk with Greg Popovich.
Well, Kevin, I asked him what the strategy was offensively, and he said, look, we want to avoid having to take so many outside shots. They want to exploit what he described as a mismatch inside. He said, we have the talent down low to make things very difficult on those guys, and we're going to use it. Kevin?
Okay, David, much appreciated. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And Rudy Gay suffered the injury last season, but was still a wanted man when free agency rolled around, Greg, and San Antonio got him.
Yeah, I mean, the Spurs made a big offer for him, and Gay felt it was the right fit. Interesting to see how his role develops in San Antonio this year. Still, there's a feeling that he's got a lot left in the tank.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And that drops, so they now lead by 1. Always a fun topic. If you could start a franchise with one guy, who would that be? And a big part of that debate, proven veteran versus young guy with massive upside, Brent.
How long is my contract as general manager, Kevin?
Let's say it's a 4-year deal right now.
Okay, I'm going to take the young guy with massive upside.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because if that pans out, my job's going to be 8 years with an extension, and you're hired.
Good, and guaranteed money.
And I'll find the veterans, Kevin, this is an honest point, that want to play with somebody like that. A young player that's drawing that much attention is going to make their jobs easier, and they're probably specialists in what they do, having been in the league that long. So the upside, I'll go with that.
They get it back. Len tries again. In deep. Knight drops it in. Knight's got his first basket of the night.
How about Knight mixing it up on the inside? Not just a perimeter scorer, but getting in there close.
There's a good screen. Gay kicks to Laverne. Shoots over Len. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Phoenix is gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Here's Chris Anderson with the block.
Good intensity on defense. Kyle Anderson using the length that time and timing it well to get the rejection.
Mills passes to Laverne. To the paint. That shot's good on the assist by Ginobili. Laverne's got his first points of the game.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
Here's Dudley, and a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. That one on Ginobili.
You know, I watched Jared Dudley, and he just doesn't get enough credit for how good he is at shooting the basketball. But one of the things he does so well is he sets himself up. He anticipates the pass, and from all his experience, he knows when he gets into those open spaces that he can find his shot and find his rhythm. That finds results.
Free throw, no good. And Brent, as you said, Dudley, a player who has been around the league for a long time now and always manages to blend himself into a team very well.
Jared Dudley is a professional and a guy that every coach has enjoyed having in his locker room. Understands his role, understands his limitations, still capable of knocking down 3-point shots, but teams are happy to always have him as part of what they're doing.
And that trip coming up empty, missing both. San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Gay can't get it to go. The Suns trailing. Here's Knight. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
Well, after a strong season in 2016, Brandon Knight had a ton of trouble in 2017. His shot just wasn't there, and playing time was inconsistent. Big drop in playing time. We'll see if this year he can find a role that he's more comfortable in.
First free throw is good. And for Knight in his struggles last year, Brent, the ball just wasn't dropping in for him as it usually does.
Yeah, tough to overcome some things maybe mentally, especially for Brandon Knight, who in his first few seasons basically was a starter. Ended up coming down to Phoenix and just 5 starts last year in the campaign. So mentally, maybe this offseason more important than what he does physically, Kevin.
Knight hits them both.
And that's the norm for him. He's pretty much automatic when he's at the line.
Last game for the Spurs, they picked up the W against the Charlotte Hornets.
You know, sometimes you're going to win because of your performance, and on occasions, which was the case for them, it's the play of your opponent that allows you to escape with wins.
Yeah, they were up against a team that struggled all night to get things under control. Mistakes and turnovers and just sloppy play all game long.
Here's Len after Rudy Gay's bucket. It's blocked.
Excellent anticipation from Laverne with the block. He constantly sends back shots with some velocity. Well, the sun set for the Phoenix organization on the draft this year as they ended up falling out of the top 3 after a really tough season. Still, they have a lot of youth to build around for their foreseeable future.
And Brent, even with the bad luck in the lottery, the Suns picked up another great player to add to the likes of Chris and Booker.
Well, for a while, it seemed like the Suns were just stuck between trying to compete and then fully retooling this entire team, and that's what they did. They have committed to the youth. They also have a very young coach in Earl Watson that could get their ear, and maybe if these guys have the shared experience coming up together of not having consistent success, that if it turns around for them, something special could be brewing.
Well, we all know, Brent, you grew up in a real basketball environment. What affected watching your dad and competing against your brothers and being in that conversation at the dinner table have on the development of your playing style?
Well, I think first and foremost what comes to mind, Kevin, is just competing. And it wasn't just competing at basketball. It was wiffle ball in the backyard, soccer in the fall, baseball in the spring, Monopoly during the weekends. So anything we could get our hands on that had to do with the game, yeah, it was about that competition.
And what do you do now in retirement? What do you find to stimulate the competitive side?
Well, I beat my kids in Monopoly, I could tell you that.
Now here's Dudley. He's coming off a 13-point game against New York.
There's a chance he could go for a big game if they don't D him up on the perimeter.
Gay kicks to Mills. Spurs passing it around. There's a good screen and stolen by Knight. Dishes to Dudley. Back to Knight. That's in. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3.
Knight not giving up. Even if you try to body him up, he's committed to the score.
Mills dishes to Laverne. Anderson passes to Mills. He kicks to Laverne. Shoots from 12. Yep, that one goes in there. Mills has got his first 2 points.
And this is where Mills can get you. If you're the defender, you have to get up on the jump shot.
Knight kicks to Bender. There's a screen by Chris. 46 seconds left to play in the first. 5 on the clock. And the shot falls short this time.
And Kevin, they need to be consistent with their effort on the boards. You look at the box score, and they're at a definite disadvantage.
Ginobili kicks to Gay. Up off the screen, and the jam by Rudy Gay.
And I just love how Gay penetrates to the bucket. I mean, always looking for the highlight reel play, showing off that awesome vertical.
Dudley with it. And it's Bender at the elbow. Puts it up from 15. He can't get that one to fall.
No doubt disappointed with that one. He'd love to have that one back.
Yeah, I'd put that play on repeat. The setup was perfect. Just need a better result next time.
A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Spurs lead by 2. Live from the AT&TCenter in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. And Tyson Chandler, known for being a great teammate, a very vocal leader certainly. He talked about how important that is for an NBA locker room.
Players do the policing. Coach sets a standard, but players individually call out other players. You know, whether it be timeout, whether it be halftime, whether it be pulling guys to the side, you know, in practice. When you have that going on, you see multiple guys doing that, that's when you know you have a good team.
Don't you need a player like this of Chandler's caliber and character, Greg, to make that kind of a teamwork, you know, have that feel in the locker room, that leadership role that everybody believes in and respects?
No doubt about it, Kevin. And that weighty stature is built on experience and credentials, as you mentioned, like having that championship ring or being an all-star. But when you have it and use it that way, the coach doesn't have to worry about the locker room because Chandler has got that covered.
And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. And guys, what's your take on the Spurs so far?
For me, that defense in the first period, just tremendous shot blocking.
Yeah, that prevented some points, didn't it? Also, how you have that intimidation factor going early on. You wonder if in the fourth quarter they'll think back to the first.
On the court right now, second quarter starting for the Suns. Bender out there with Len. Then there's Chris. Then there's Jared Dudley. And it's Knight in at the one.
The Australian-born Patty Mills, former second-round pick. Who knew Mills would someday win an NBA championship? Well, the Spurs did.
And both free throws good for Mills. You know, Brent, the one thing we've seen from Coach Earl Watson is that he has a very good working relationship with his roster. His players have always said they have the trust of their coach.
Well, that's the key buzzword for what it is that Earl Watson wants to do with this young ball club, is that he wants to grow as they grow, and he wants to know that at all times Earl Watson has their back. He wants them to have the kind of success in the league that is going to afford them everything that they want, and he never shies away about talking about those things.
Now here's Laverne. Anderson the screen. Laverne passes to Mills. Ginobili against Dudley. And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense. The Spurs shooting their 7th free throw attempt here.
One shot, gentlemen.
Free throw good. Mills.
And up and down this Suns roster, there is a ton of youth. One of the younger teams in our league last season, and that was weighted, put Tyson Chandler's age. A lot of young players looking to make their mark here in the NBA.
Now here's Ginobili. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him.
Very few guys this past decade have used the screen better than Manu. He shows his chops right there again.
Here is Dudley. And there's the pass to Bender. Here's the three. Dudley, no luck. And last season, the Suns broke their franchise record for the youngest starting 5 the team has ever put on the court on multiple occasions.
Yeah, and with those young lineups, you could see the benefits, but also the concerns. I mean, they got a lot of extended looks at young players, and this team figures to have a bright future. But let's face it, there were some inconsistent stretches because of that youth. It's always difficult for a young group to learn how to become efficient and effective in the half court.
Kawhi Leonard's checked in for the Spurs. And for the Suns, Warren's checked in for Dragan Bender. Jackson comes in for Chris. And it's Booker in for Jared Dudley.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion.
And that's the versatility Leonard provides this offense, showing the confidence and ability to hit from range.
Knight dishes to Jackson. He feeds it to Len. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Len's got his first bucket of the night.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, the Spurs, Greg Popovich talked about developing players. He said, our method is usually tough love. I don't think coddling works, and beating them to death mentally doesn't work either. You give them a clear picture of what's demanded, show care, understand what makes them tick. If that doesn't get through, you get rid of them. Kevin?
And the military background of Popovich plays a part in this way of thinking, David. It's why the Spurs have been so successful for so many years. Here's Mills. Brandon Knight picking up that last basket. Ginobili kicks to Leonard. Pass to Gasol. The shot will not fall. Now the Suns take it the other way. Their next game playing at home as the Nets come into town. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2.
Just watch Devin Booker shoot 2 or 3 shots, and you can see why he's such an explosive scorer. A smooth stroke can hurt you in many ways, and once he gets locked in, as we saw last year with a 70-point game, he can become devastating.
And the first one at the line is good. And with Booker, that versatility that he has on the offensive end is a big plus for him. Not, Brent, just a jump shooter. He can post you up, and he can also hit from mid-range.
Yeah, there are other facets to his game that he'd like to explore. You think about his rookie season averaging about 14 points a game, and then in his second year already over 20. But I think that Devin Booker would like to shoot the ball a little bit better. Last season, just 36% from 3. Maybe that number will go up this year.
Kicks to Leonard. Gasol, a screen on Warren. Off the pick. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Really, with that level of speed and power, it is so difficult to keep Leonard from scoring on the drive.
Chandler, a screen. Now, here's Ulis, covered by Parker. Booker against Green. He dishes it to Leonard. Over Jackson, and it's Leonard. That time on the assist by Green. And now an 8-point San Antonio lead. And here is Ulis. Feeds it to Jackson. Leonard with the steal. And here comes Leonard leading the fast break. Here's Aldridge. Count it. Aldridge has got the lead up to 10 now for San Antonio.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
And the Suns call time here. Brent, all things being equal, do you like the idea of sending everyone to the defensive glass to avoid giving away second chance points, or do you like leaking a guy or two out in transition, hoping for the best?
I don't think the leak out is a good idea at all, Kevin. You've got to have 5 guys attentive to any possession. Most coaches in the NBA will tell you that a possession is not a stop until you collect the defensive rebound.
Suns trail by 10. Now here's Ulis. There's a screen. Jackson kicks to Warren, and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. That's on LaMarcus Aldridge.
And when you see TJ Warren on the court, I just love his activity. I mean, he's always cutting and moving without the basketball. Very adept at finding those openings on the floor.
He's off on the first. And Warren last season had his year interrupted by injury, cooled off after the fast start. But, Greg, he will always play with that activity.
Yeah, and he's so good at switching directions on a defender. Seemingly simple moves help him create great space both with and without the ball.
And the second free throw, good. Spurs leading by 9. Parker passes to Leonard. Aldridge a screen. Leonard kicks to Parker. Lets the three fly. Rebound by the Suns. Chandler's got 5 rebounds tonight. Now Ulis. Chandler outside. Here's Booker. Gets that one to drop. That's his 3rd field goal in 8 tries.
Well, Booker playing very aggressive, constantly looking to score and not taking no for an answer.
Aldridge a screen. Green against Booker. Parker outside. Shot clock at 5. Fires from deep. Knocks down the 3-ball. Parker's got his 3rd basket of the night.
And they've done a great job knocking down those long-range shots here in the second, shooting just over 40% from downtown.
Ulis kicks to Warren. On the wing, Booker. A dish now to Chandler. Good. A nice assist from Booker.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Green passes to Leonard. To the paint. And Aldridge slams it in.
And don't look now. If there's anything Leonard could improve upon, it's getting his teammates more involved. Exhibit A, that assist.
Now, here's Ulis. Chandler outside. Passes it to Booker. The feed to Warren. Over Aldridge. And the shot by Warren, no good. Spurs leading by 10. Parker outside. Gasol a screen. Green kicks to Aldridge. Shoots over Warren. Aldridge misses. For Phoenix, they've gotten just over 50% of their shots to drop here in the second quarter. They're 5 for 9. Here's Warren. And count it. And a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Oh, and look at how well he led him in there. Really, he passed him open for that deuce.
Well, watching T.J. Warren, you see a player who is always in control of every small action he makes on the floor.
Well, I think starting basketball games for T.J. Warren last year was a huge confidence builder. In his first 2 seasons, just 5 starts, but last year in his campaign, 59. He seemed to keep growing and growing in terms of that confidence that we're talking about, and then his ability to score started to blossom. Well, the Spurs system hasn't changed through the years, but certainly some things being more emphasized than others. You had the post attack, certainly with Tim Duncan and David Robinson, and then it shifted to the drive and kick style with Manu and Tony Parker. And now they're back to playing the mid-range game with Kawhi Leonard and LaMarcus Aldridge.
There's Ulis. Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. Some solid defense from Aldridge.
The defensive reaction time, it was just immediate on that one.
And sometimes the most important part of that is the angle that the defender chooses. That time he chose wisely.
And in the past, there's been a distaste for isolation basketball in the Spurs organization. But we're seeing more iso ball running through Kawhi and Aldridge.
Well, they do a great job of passing out of the post, and mainly that's the reason why they use it. Force teams to come down as the ball gets closer to the rim and commit several defenders, and then the spacing takes over on the weak side. So they still utilize a pass-first style, and the isolation kind of sets up opportunities on the weak side.
And the Suns call time on this matchup with the Spurs. It's their first meeting of the season.
Yeah, and a 4-game season series between these two. Both will be looking to set the tone tonight.
And let's hope for a heated matchup in this first game between them, because a close one tonight ensures we'll have 3 more good games down the road.
Now, here's Ulis. Back to Warren. That's tipped and stolen by Gay. And a fast break now for the Spurs. Leonard's got the ball. Gay can't get it to go. Suns trail by 12. Ulis dishes to Booker. Chandler with the screen on Green. Booker the pass to Chandler. Nice D from Aldridge. San Antonio's gotten fewer than half of their three-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. And it's Leonard missing. Phoenix has gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Now, here's Ulis, guarded closely. Here's Warren over Gay. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's going to be on Rudy Gay. The Suns have been shooting right around 75% at the line, 9 of 12 so far.
And just to mention, a season ago, they were very comfortable at the line, hitting about 78% of their free throws.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
First one falls for him. And the San Antonio Spurs, the best bench net rating in the league last season. Brent 3rd in bench minutes.
Well, it's amazing the way that Pop controls the players' minutes. So the starters don't play a ton. The bench guys get enough minutes to play cohesively together. And one of the guys who was hugely impactful coming off the bench last year for them was Patty Mills. And in fact, last year they became the first 60-win team to have 11 different players that played at least 1,000 minutes.
Now here's Parker. He's got 7. Aldridge a screen. It's Gay with the drive. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Gay's got the lead up to 12 now for the Spurs. The Suns have gone 6 of 13 so far from the field here in the second quarter. Ulis kicks to Warren. There's a screen by Chris. Back to Ulis. It's stolen by Green. Oh, and here comes Gay. All alone.
That's a great dunk. Freakish.
Man overboard.
Wow.
You gotta love watching Gay just soar through the air. An amazing dunker who just relishes these opportunities.
Special thanks to Under Armour for that sweet replay we just saw. Another Unleash Chaos moment. Now, here's Warren. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Knicks in New York. Shot clock at 6. Dudley dishes to Warren. Puts one up from 19. A rebound by the Spurs.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
It is so tough to make those kind of shots with the defense draped all over you.
Here's Ulis. And some very quick points for him on that possession. San Antonio leading by 12. Green kicks to Aldridge. Gay outside. Pass to Parker. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Parker. And it's Laverne missing. Suns trail by 12. Warren kicks to Dudley. Dishes it to Ulis. Parker with the steal. Now here's the fast break. Parker leading the way. It's deflected. Green against Dudley from about 16. Here's Bender, tries again, and that one is off. And it's the Spurs taking it the other way. Parker kicks to Gay. The putback, it's good on the putback. And the Spurs lead by 14.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
58 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Offensive rebound. Here's Dudley. The layup missed.
Well, whether the shots are wide open or contested, he is just having no luck right now, guys, with anything. And it's not so much just the made shots, it's the consistency of the made shots that's got his team the lead.
Here is Dudley. After Rudy Gay's bucket, they set the pick. It's tipped. Out of bounds. Phoenix takes possession. A different look now for San Antonio. Anderson, he's checked in for Aldridge. Ginobili comes in for Danny Green. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker. Alex Len's checked in for Phoenix. Knight comes in for Ulis. He got an advantage there off the pick and took it right in. Dudley's got 5 now.
Well, he's 1 for 5 in the quarter, and his body language is saying a lot about where his confidence is. Rattled just a little bit. Maybe the next open look will start him up.
Now here's Gay. 12 points for him. And yes, it's good.
No, right now he is locked in. He's getting great shots, and he's burning the D in a variety of ways.
Here is Dudley. He's got 5. He kicks tonight. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
You got to stay down on Brandon Knight. Pretty effective that time at fooling the defense.
This is his second trip to the line in this one. And that one falls for Knight.
Well, Knight as a decisive guard can be much better than when he's out there thinking through plays.
So he gets them both. Mills. The shot will not fall. Kawhi Leonard has been on display for the San Antonio Spurs. That quarter had to take a lot out of him. He racked up 12 points. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Kawhi, you have grown so much offensively throughout your career. What's the focus of that end of the floor?
Just knocking out open shots, my ball handling, making good decisions off the pick and roll, and just try to limit my turnovers.
And you've done well so far, Kawhi. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And hello again. We have an exhilarated home crowd joining us for our halftime report. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaq. A pretty close game for the Spurs throughout the first quarter. At the end of the period, they held a 2-point lead. They just exploded in the second quarter, grabbing the momentum and running with it. Basket after basket, and they played stingy defense. Now they've got a halftime lead that's going to be very difficult to erase. Kenny, what was your take on San Antonio?
Well, they built this lead in large part because of the sharpshooters off the bench. The subs played a superb game. Get it? Subs, superb. Oh, I'm rolling tonight. I mean, they played like starters.
And over to Shaq. What did you think about Phoenix?
Way too soft in the paint defensively. They were all late on their rotations. Obviously, that's a recipe for getting cooked. And I like eating that barbecue chicken. They got to do better, Ernie.
That's it for halftime. Glad you could join us, as now we send you back to the action for the start of the third quarter.
A spectacular aerial shot of downtown San Antonio, Texas, the Tower Life building, front and center. We welcome you back. And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but anything can happen. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
Yeah, and through 2 quarters, he's been lights out. And he's going to look to add to those totals.
And defensively, hard to force him out of the rhythm at this point because he has a number of ways.
Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. Suns trail by 14. Aldridge is at the 4 with Gasol at the 5. Parker and Green are the guard set, and it's Leonard in at the 3 spot. So that's who Greg Popovich starts the second half with. Kicks it out to Booker. Parker with the steal. Green with the ball. Now guarded by Booker. To the paint. Here's Gasol. And Chandler sends it back.
That's what he does, Tyson Chandler, redirecting that one.
Booker against Green. Goes back up. And Gasol sends it back. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, the Spurs have never been the flashy team in the NBA. Tony Parker said, beautiful basketball is playing the right way. Ball movement, pure, beautiful basketball is the way we've played. You have all sorts of fans, and there should be something for everybody. Kevin, he told me a long time ago, if we were in New York, people would love us.
And during Popovich's time in San Antonio, the Spurs have always played together, D.A. Got to respect their team-first approach to the game.
Well, they got to be more active on offense and maybe a little bit more aggressive going to the rim. 0 of 4, not impressive thus far. Coach Greg Popovich last season passed Jerry Sloan for the most wins with a single team. Of course, Jerry Sloan with the Utah Jazz. You might not know this, but the Spurs modeled themselves very much after the Utah Jazz system behind Stockton, Malone, and Sloan staying there for the amount of time that he did. That role model of consistency and sustained success and accountability has certainly worked in this small market in San Antonio.
And the Spurs are now seen as that model franchise. Brent, so interesting to hear who they tried to emulate.
Easy to see a lot of comparisons between the precision and the toughness and the bond between not only the coach and the players, but the team and the community, the way that it happened in Utah for the Jazz. And Coach Pop talks a lot about those connections that Jerry Sloan had between John Stockton and Karl Malone. That's something he's always admired and brought to the San Antonio way. Last time the Suns saw postseason basketball was back in 2010. This team knows that the next step for them in the rebuilding process is to get back to competitive level of play. These Suns fans are certainly not used to not seeing postseason basketball in the desert.
2 minutes gone in this third quarter now. Ulis passes to Warren. Ulis with it. He's against Parker. That's good from Ulis on the assist by Warren. And the Suns, they've had so much success as a franchise, Brent, for so long. This is actually their longest playoff drought in team history.
Yeah, they've had a ton of playoff consistency, and they were unlucky to not ever have won a title, especially during the years with Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, and when Grant Hill was added to that roster. Great talent and a great style under Mike D'Antoni. All those teams came up a little bit short. Now they've got a young roster that's trying to get back to try and experience and taste what it's like to be in those kind of games.
Phoenix calls timeout. You have to like what we're seeing so far from Kawhi Leonard.
So far he is just destroying their will. It feels like he can get any shot he wants once he crosses half court.
Suns trail by 16. Chandler a screen. Here's Ulis. The rebound by Gasol.
That's a wide open shot. Sadly, he came up short.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
And there's the pass to Warren. Inside. Chandler's shot. Good. Chandler's got his second basket.
Chandler's so good at finishing over defenders. Helps when the big guys keep the ball high.
Parker dishes to Aldridge. On the wing, Green. And stolen by Booker. The wide open look here for Ulis. Rebounded by the Spurs. In transition, here comes San Antonio. Green with the ball. Now guarded by Booker. Back to Green. Leonard against Jackson. There's Green with the three. Chandler with the rebound. Chandler's got rebound number 12 here already in the game. That one's good. The San Antonio lead is cut down to just 12 points on the bucket from Warren.
Not sure you can ask for a better look. He can make those shots while sleeping.
Inside. A nice shot by Aldridge. Aldridge has got 12 points in the game.
There's that 7'5" wingspan coming into play. Aldridge easily making that look inside.
Ulis kicks to Warren. He feeds it to Booker. Back to Warren. Clock at 6. Lets it go with a three. No good from Booker. Spurs leading by 14. Outside, Green. Leonard against Jackson. Gasol, a screen on Jackson. Aldridge, a screen. Here's Parker. Rebound by the Suns. Chandler's got rebound number 13 for him here tonight.
Yeah, tonight his shot's been a bit off, but still, they lead the game.
One-on-one here. Here's Green. Rebounded by Jackson. Jackson's got 5 rebounds tonight. Here's Booker. Here's Warren. And Gasol sends it back.
Gasol did not stop moving his hands there, especially as the shot was going up. Always going to be right there to send anything back if it's close.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure. The defensive reaction time, it was just immediate on that one.
And sometimes the most important part of that is the angle that the defender chooses. That time he chose wisely.
Mills, he's checked in for Danny Green. And a change for the Suns. Knight's checked in. Parker against Booker. Parker passes to Aldridge. And it goes down 2 points. Aldridge has got 6 points in the quarter.
A super high percentage shot from Aldridge there. Layups work.
And with the emergence of Kawhi Leonard, LaMarcus Aldridge has become a secondary scorer in San Antonio. Brent, how do you like him in that role?
Well, I think that's where LaMarcus Aldridge really fits best, even in his time in Portland with the tremendous offensive output he had as one of the Blazers' greatest of all time. He's sometimes not leaned upon as being the primary scorer, even though that low block basically belongs to LaMarcus Aldridge.
Shooting 2.
Free throw good, Booker. Well, Brent, you look at the front court options for the Suns, and they have a lot of youth and a lot of length, certainly. Definitely, it's going to be a strong point for the team as they rebuild.
Well, it plays into the Suns' scheme to get out and try to run in transition and not to have a lot of these young guys set up in the half court and deal with getting pushed and beat around a little bit. Once they settle in and establish their confidence playing with that style of play, maybe they can take the next step to be more consistent on the offensive end.
Shot from free throw range, and it's Phoenix with the rebound. Outside Knight. Out to the wing, and here's Dudley for 3. That's good. The assist that time from Knight. Dudley's got 8 points.
The defense cannot let guys get into that kind of comfort zone. You have to patrol the three-point line or you risk getting burned.
Knight on the wing, covered by Mills. Knight kicks to Chris. And a miss there with a chance to cut the lead to single digits. Mills dishes to Gasol. Gasol a screen. Dudley against Leonard. Shoots over Dudley. And it's off the back rim. No good.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Booker against Ginobili. And the basket is good. And that's 12 points for Devin Booker.
Booker effective that time, close to the basket, taking his time to cash in.
And it's the Suns' ball. They're on a 14-6 run. The rebound by Anderson.
He seems to be forcing just a little bit out there. He needs to play a little calmer, a little smarter, with a little bit more poise if they're going to win this one.
A different look now for San Antonio. Laverne comes in for Pau Gasol. And Rudy Gay is subbed in for Kawhi Leonard. Bender, he's checked in for Phoenix. Mills with it. He's got 7. Pass to Gay. That's tipped. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Chris. He can't hit that time. Good work defensively by Gay. Here's Ginobili. Again, the miss by the Spurs. Suns trail by 9. Bender with the screen for Dudley. Down low. Now here's Bender. He's covered by Gay. Puts it up from 12. They get it back. Right wing. Dudley with it. Gay picks him up defensively. Dudley the pass to Len. And Patrick Mills gets that whistle that time. That's his third foul of the game.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Full 24-second shot clock. Outside Knight. Here's Dudley. A beautiful reverse layup. Dudley's got 10 points in the game.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Spurs leading by 7. And here's Mills. He has 7. Here's Gay. And he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim. 16 points for him.
And this is an area where Gay is especially dangerous. A terrific mid-range scorer.
Knight kicks to Len. And the dunk by Len.
And he just leaves the D in the dust and explodes to the basket.
You're right. Maybe a momentum changer right there, huh?
If anything could change the momentum, it's that kind of play. Cloud of smoke has people standing on their feet.
Ginobili kicks to Gay. There's a screen. Anderson. Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Anderson's inside game reminiscent of an old teammate of his, Boris Diaw, patient in the post around the rim.
This is his third free throw attempt of the game.
And taking a look back at his performance at the line a year ago, a rock solid 79%.
That free throw good from Anderson.
Tough to match up with Kyle Anderson because of how quirky he plays. Changing speeds, plays slow, but sees the floor remarkably well.
Spurs leading by 10. The shot from the low post is good. Anderson's got 5 points now in the quarter.
I like that recognition. Effortlessly getting his teammate the ball in a spot where he knows he can do something with it.
And the dunk by Len.
And that's a huge play. I mean, they need more like it because second chance points are going to be key in this game.
Probably so. That's usually a crucial element to any comeback. And Laverne kicks to Mills. Dudley against Ginobili. Laverne dishes to Ginobili. Lets it fly from 18. And it's San Antonio with another.
So blessed with excellent court vision, especially for a wing player. Ginobili repeatedly finds the open man.
Knight passes to Bender. The tray. A rebound by the Spurs. Laverne's got 8 rebounds in this game. Gay against Dudley. Kicks it to Laverne. That's tipped.
And Bender really using that 9'3" standing reach to block these shots. Just a towering presence.
Dudley dishes to Bender. Back to Dudley. Add another make to his scoring column. His 5th basket of the game. Now shooting 5 of 11.
Yeah, maybe the shot selection in the first half took him out of a rhythm, but in the second half, he's making everything.
Here's Anderson. That one misses.
Oh, you've got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss.
Ginobili with the steal. Now here's Mills. He's guarded closely. And Laverne kicks to Anderson. 6 on the shot clock. Launches a 3. Bangs home the trifecta. Anderson's got 8 here in the quarter.
That's a pretty good look from Kyle Anderson. Good form as he squares up and knocks down one from the perimeter.
Knight for 3. Here's Len, and the dunk by Len.
Incredible reverse throwdown. Excellent body control.
And guys, I'd even go as far to say that was a punctuation dunk. And so it's San Antonio holding on to an 11-point cushion as we get ready to take a break. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And now a sneak peek into the huddle with Greg Popovich.
We can't forget about the boards. If we don't go to bodies, they're going to be at the rim all night.
And pretty unsurprising there, Greg Popovich reminding his guys to block out, play fundamental basketball.
Yeah, I mean, you work so hard at everything else. You have to finish the defense. It would be a crime to give up those extra possessions.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. On the court now for the Suns, getting going here in the fourth. They've got Brandon Knight. Marquise Chris is out there with Bender. Then there's Len, and it's Dudley in at shooting guard. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. Feeds it to Ginobili. Got a piece of it. And now here's Chris. He's covered by Anderson. Dudley, no luck.
Not pretty. You just got to shake off a miss like that.
Gay passes to Mills. Ginobili dishes to Gay. Bender with the rebound. Bender's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Chris kicks to Knight. Suns moving the ball around. Stolen by Gay. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. And finished off by Gay.
Anderson has great vision as a point forward. Exceptional court awareness.
Suns trail by 13. Knight passes to Bender. Here's Chris. Not going to go that time. So the Spurs will take it the other way. Here's Anderson. It's tipped, but they recover it. Ginobili dishes to Mills. And Laverne kicks to Ginobili. A second chance effort. Len grabs the board. Len's got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. Lets it go from 14. No good on the shot, a bit long that time. San Antonio leading by 13. Here's Ginobili, and the layup is good after a nice lead pass.
Well, there's a couple things that Patty is working on to be a better player in this league, and finding the open man is one of them.
Bender kicks to Dudley. Banked in off the glass. Dudley's got 9 points now in just the second half.
Yeah, that's pretty much a perfect pass, and that's also alliteration.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
Yeah, I mean, it's an opportunity to kind of regroup and discuss ways to maximize these possessions.
Yeah, and therein lies the trick, discussing ways to be aggressive but not committing turnovers.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, guys, during the last break, I listened to Greg Popovich talk to his team. He was pretty clear-cut to them. He said, look, we need to play with some edge out there. I don't care what the lead is. Do not back off.
And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game from him offensively.
Suns trail by 13. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
It's not talked about often enough, but Green averages more blocks per game than almost all other backcourt players.
Chandler with the block. Warren kicks to Booker. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
Yeah, he earned that one. I mean, taking the hit and still able to get that one to go down.
And a guy like Devin Booker, so deadly already at such a young age in this NBA. Brent, the ease in which he scores is something it's hard to find in a player.
Well, it definitely is. And then the idea that you force a young player, Kevin, to take on that kind of load for what you do offensively, averaged 11 shots his rookie year and then up to 18 in his second season. It's tough to sustain that kind of offensive relentlessness throughout the course of an NBA year. He did it last year. We'll see if he can do it again.
San Antonio leading by 10. Now here's Parker. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Parker. The drive by Aldridge and the dunk by Aldridge.
Well, some of the advanced statistics bear this out. Aldridge is actually more efficient after a dribble than he is from the standstill.
Ulis passes to Booker. He dishes it to Warren. Plays it up and banks it in.
And that's what the pump fake's there for. Get your man off his feet and drive right around it.
Aldridge a screen. Here's Leonard. Phoenix grabs the miss. Chandler's got his 16th rebound on the night. Booker with it. Leonard picks him up. Booker dishes to Warren. Gets it down to single digits.
How about Devin Booker scanning the floor and finding the right option?
San Antonio leading. Parker kicks to Aldridge. Here's Gasol. Good.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Well, on the defensive end, this is a joke. The lack of awareness is exactly why this team is so far behind.
They are just killing them on the interior.
One shot.
Free throw good, Booker.
Devin Booker is flat out a scoring machine. He shoots a pretty decent percentage from everywhere on the floor.
Parker outside to the left wing. Here's Aldridge. Rebound by the Suns. Now Ulis. Booker outside. There's the dish to Warren. Back to Booker from the arc. Made that one. It's his 7th of the contest. 7 for 15 from the floor.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Parker kicks to Aldridge. And fouled as he went up to the dunk. Good aggressive move, and he'll shoot 2. It's on Tyson Chandler.
Do a deep dive into LaMarcus Aldridge's career numbers. He is just one of the best big men shooting the basketball, especially from the mid-range, with incredible consistency. He can hurt you from all over the floor, but especially from around the 15-foot mark. That is his bread and butter.
That's good from Aldridge. And the mid-range jumper, not usually a recipe for efficiency. Brent, you think the Spurs want Aldridge to take a step back and take more threes?
Well, last season he shot over 40% from the three-point line, and I think that the big guys stepping out to the corner is something that a lot of offenses look to. He didn't take a ton of threes, but when he did, he'd knock them down.
Both free throws good from Aldridge.
Such a big bonus to have a big guy that can step up to the free throw line and knock down shots. So many guys struggle from there.
They set the pick, and Booker kicks to Jackson, and the dunk by Jackson.
You got to be right up on Jackson. He excels at using screens to create space to get that jumper off.
Spurs leading by 4. Passes to Leonard. The feed to Aldridge. Good looking screen by Gasol. And that one drops. And that's now 20 points for LaMarcus Aldridge.
And defensively, you've got to make a greater effort working over the screens.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lazy play right there. You're hoping that the guy misses the shot without really doing your job in challenging it.
Over in the corner, Warren. And it's sent back by Aldridge. And Leonard has it in the corner. Pass to Aldridge. From 12 feet out. And that one off the back of the rim and in. And now an 8-point Spurs lead. For Phoenix, they've gone 7 of 13 from the field here in the fourth. Chandler with the screen on Parker. Ulis passes to Chandler. And that comes off the assist by Ulis. Ulis has got 3 assists tonight.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Green against Booker. Aldridge a screen. Here's Gasol, and the Spurs scoring again.
With Gasol's length, sometimes, Kevin, that can be deceptively quick when you extend out there. The D can't do anything about that catch-and-shoot jumper.
Chandler a screen. There's the pick. Dishes it to Jackson. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Booker. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Great D that time from Leonard. He kicks it to Parker. Aldridge a screen. Here's Parker. Gasol a screen. A 3 from Leonard. Aldridge. Rebounded by Jackson. Suns trail by 8. Chandler with the ball. Gasol covering. Ulis with it. The pass to Jackson. Gasol with the rebound. Gasol's got 14 rebounds tonight. Going after it. Leonard with the bucket.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Warren kicks to Booker. He feeds it to Ulis. Pass to Chandler. For 3, Booker. Rebounded by the Spurs. Gasol's got 15 rebounds here tonight. Here's Leonard. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. And the Spurs got Kawhi Leonard to be the next Bruce Bowen. But from his rookie season, I think Pop realized, Brent, he could be the face of the franchise.
Well, it's amazing that they had talked with that kind of regard for Kawhi Leonard after making the draft day trade and sending away George Hill. They felt like Kawhi Leonard could make that kind of progression. Now, I would also tell you that they had no idea he would become one of the more devastating players on the offensive end of the floor. But the work ethic was there, the size was there, and the fruits of the labor are paying off.
The first free throw is good.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws.
The passing of the torch in San Antonio is one of the more remarkable things about the NBA. And just as one superstar decides to retire, another one steps up and emerges as one of the best players in the league. That is Kawhi Leonard, becoming the franchise player.
Kicks it to Parker. Back to Leonard. And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line.
And this is who he has become. Leonard, with the great body control, takes the hit and still able to sink the shot, and one.
And to see how far Kawhi Leonard has come as a player from his days at San Diego State to where he is now, Brent, a testament to his work ethic and the player development staff, certainly, of the Spurs.
Well, Chip England is the shooting coach in San Antonio, has worked diligently with Kawhi Leonard, even to the point where Chip gets tired that Kawhi calls him up so much. Kawhi Leonard just wants to be the best player he can possibly be and maximize that potential. Any coaching staff would be proud of a player like that.
Buries the long-range jumper.
When you're trying to space the floor, Green's the guy you want out there. The defense is forced to respect him from range.
And the Suns call time. You have to like what we're seeing so far from Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, the defense has not provided any threat to stop him out there, so it should come to no surprise that he continues to attack the basket.
A chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah, and his percentage from the field tonight, just amazing. He hadn't just been gunning. He's been picking his spots, and you need that kind of patience and discipline to shoot as well as he has.
The lift he got from this home crowd has been obvious. There's nothing fans love more than getting a big game out of someone other than one of their stars. Suns trail by 18. Booker with it. Leonard picks him up. Feeds to Warren. And it's sent back by Aldridge. They recover it to stop the run. That shot missing. Great D that time from Green. And here is Parker. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Parker. He dishes it to Aldridge. On the wing, another one falls for San Antonio.
Full speed ahead. I mean, they have been in control since the opening tip, and that may have sealed the deal.
I can imagine a lot of things right now, but a comeback, that's not one of them.
Here's Warren. Gasol with the defensive effort.
Yeah, momentum right now is against them. They're just going to have to figure out a way to ride this one out.
Got to be some consideration here for a different rotation because the matchups right now just not favorable.
Gasol setting the pick for Leonard. Off the pick. Aldridge, no luck.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
Oh, man, he'd love to have that one back. He just does everything right, but doesn't get the finish.
And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
You hear a lot about rim protection. This is a good example of how valuable it can be.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Spurs.
Tonight they seem committed to the three-point shot.
That was the bread and butter. Fortunately, they made enough of those, but sometimes it was quantity over quality.
And so with this win, they'll move to 6 victories on the season.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
And a great team effort tonight, helped in large part with contributions, and the nice night it ended up being for LaMarcus Aldridge.
He came in with a focus and brought that dominant performance to the defense all night long, controlling the pace of the game and was firing on all cylinders.
Here's Murray. There's 48 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Aldridge a screen. Murray dishes to Aldridge. Shoots over Len. Again, the miss by the Spurs. Here's Ulis. No good on that one. And the Spurs going the other way now. There's 25 seconds left in the fourth. Now here's Murray. There's the dish to Aldridge. Len grabs the board. Now Ulis. Over Murray. Here's Len. It counts. That gives him the double-double. 10 points and 12 rebounds. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Danny, a strong defensive effort both individually and team. Now, how comfortable are you at that end of the floor now, knowing that you can make things tough on the opposition?
Well, we want to make them take tough shots. We're not comfortable at any point defensively, but we got to continue to be active and be aggressive and get our hands on loose balls.
It's been the mark of the Spurs for a long time, Danny. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. So for David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and the whole 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. And we'll see you next time.